Hi guys, I'm David with David Abel Photography, and I'm here with Graham with Cakes by Graham. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Been decorating cakes for about 30 years. Had the business Cakes by Graham for about 17. Been in this location for 7. Having a really good time and enjoying decorating lots of cakes, particularly for brides.
Very nice. So what sort of makes you unique in the wedding industry?
Probably not only the accent, but got a lot of experience, done a lot of cakes. I offer very high quality, lots of choices for the brides, and I think good customer service as well is what the brides are looking for.
So what are 3 tips that you can give our brides that they can use when they go to look for a cake decorator or when they're trying to think of a cake?
Um, First of all, keep an open mind. I think primarily people need to realise, brides need to realise the importance of cake. It is the first thing that they do as husband and wife.
Right.
It is the centrepiece of the reception, second of course to the bride. It's the first thing they'll eat, and it may be the only thing that they'll eat.
Right.
They
That
don't
is
have a
true.
let's eat the first shrimp ceremony, but they do have the let's eat the cake ceremony. I think the when to serve the cake as well is important. Some brides will hold the cake back a little bit because they know the etiquette book says that guests should stay till the cake cutting. Some brides might think, well, if I hold the cake back a little bit, then guests will stay. Unfortunately, some guests will leave early for other commitments. They might have a babysitting issue, long distance to travel, or they might just be the older generation that doesn't want to stay quite so long. And if guests do leave, then you could have cake left over. Normally we eat dessert, pretty soon after we've eaten dinner.
Right.
So it's a good thing to serve the cake relatively soon after the dinner. And I think the DJs will appreciate it as well because they don't get the party started,
Right.
stop for the cake cutting, speeches, and then have to get the party started again.
Yeah, I'm
So
actually a pretty big fan of having right after dinner you do the finishing dances if there are any others, you do speeches and then cake cutting.
right,
And that way you can just really have a really nice party instead
right,
of, getting it started like you said and then slowing it back down and then trying to
yeah,
get it started again.
yeah,
I think people would appreciate more if you cut the cake sooner and then
right,
went into the
yeah,
party and then people could actually enjoy dancing a lot
yeah.
more.
I think some brides they just get a little nervous
Hmm.
that they think that people will start to leave when you cut the cake. Guests are going to leave whenever they want to.
Right.
So you can't really sort of make them stay by holding the cake. The third thing I think is people should shop for value, not price.
Right.
Um,
And that's true of just about any industry.
it is, it is. Anybody can do anything cheaper.
Hmm.
Cheaper is normally not as good, and good is seldom cheap. So you do get what you pay for.
Right.
Doing something a little cheaper can result in either lower quality or even sort of more risk.
Or melted cakes.
Or melted cakes, right? Which we don't do melted cakes, obviously. Brides should ask if vendors have insurance. What is their plan if say something happened to me? Is a bride still going to get a cake? Of
Right.
course, because I have a small staff that could fill in. They've all been trained by me, so they're very knowledgeable, and they could fill in an emergency.
Especially in this day and age where there's a lot of new people coming into the industry and they don't necessarily have a backup plan.
Right.
So having somebody who has been established, who has been in the industry for a while, is actually
Right.
pretty important.
Yeah, and that's where perhaps choosing a vendor that's been around for a while, got a lot more experience, that they've kind of gone through that learning curve, and they're going to be prepared for it. Sometimes we have an accident. Even when I'm delivering a cake, my hand might slip into the cake, or I might put a flower in the wrong place, and I have to cover it up. So I carry a repair kit with me, with all the tools, all the frosting, even door stops to hold doors open for me, leveling tables, things like that. Wire cutters, scissors, tape, paper clips, all kinds of stuff. All things that I've actually used over the last 17 years of doing cakes. But I carry that in a toolbox with me, so if I do have an accident, then I'm prepared and can fix it quite easily.
Oh, good. Well, is there a final tip that you can give our brides? Anything to finish off with?
Do a little bit of research before you come to, this probably applies to every vendor. Do a little bit of research and have some ideas, but don't be too focused on one thing. Work with the vendor, let the vendor sort of help you and guide you. Remember that the vendors do this for a living.
Right.
Most brides are getting married for just the first time, so it's something all brand new to them. It's a very important day. They want to have it perfect, but they should work with the vendors and find vendors that they can work with that will kind of help them achieve their goals, and then they'll have a very successful event.
Well, cool. Thank you so much for doing this video interview with us. You can visit Graham on his website at
cakesbygraham.com.
and you can always visit me on my website at davidabelphotography.com. Thanks so much.